Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode here in NHL 22. So I am going to be pre-recording these playoff episodes just because I want to get into it, obviously, and see if this team could win and whatnot. But anyways, in the last episode, we simulated the rest of the season. We did make a little bit of a change to our team, and that is upgrading our defensive core a little bit. So we brought in Josh Mahura from the Calgary Flames and got rid of the depth defenseman that we signed in the episode prior. And yeah, Josh Mahura has been okay here so far. He was a -2 in 46 games and he had 7 points. But yeah, he's just here more to like solidify our defensive core a little bit more. And if he doesn't play good in the playoffs, we do have Braden Schneider as our scratch defenseman now, and we could always throw him in if we really need to. Also, we did try and give Varlamov a little bit of ice time at the start of last episode just to see if he could play better than Schulz, and he was terrible. He was like a -9 in 20 games, so Schulz is going to be our fourth liner for the start of the playoffs, but if for some reason Schulz doesn't play good, we could always put Varlamov in, or give a chance to Sepulveov, who's literally been a depth option for us, and he's never played an NHL game for us so far. He's literally been a depth forward for like 2 seasons now, and has never played a game, so I'd like to maybe give him an opportunity at some point. And if we run into even more trouble, we do have a lot of help in the AHL. We do got Gallagher, who's up to a 79 now. We have Shishkinov, who's up to an 81. We also have Anisimov and Koltsov, who are both kind of ready. And then Sasaki's also pretty much ready as well, as an 80 overall. So we could always call him up if we need defensive help. But our AHL team is yoked, and it should be interesting to see if that team could win the Calder Cup, because they should win the Calder Cup at that rate. I didn't actually take a look at how they assimilated in last episode either. Let's take a look at the AHL team. Yeah, they had a really good season. There might be a first round exit though. 53, 23, and 6. We'll definitely take a look at their player stats and stuff like that as well at some point. But anyways, we are going to be taking on the Chicago Blackhawks here in the first round. They went 47, 29, and 6, while we went 51, 24, and 7. It was mainly because we were a good penalty kill team and good defensive team. So I'm really hoping our offense could kind of get going a little bit more here in the playoffs. And yeah, hopefully we can beat Chicago, who does have 2 injuries at the moment. One player will not be returning the series, and that is Philippe Deneau. And then the other player, Seth Jones, is out till April the 30th, so there is a chance he could return for a Game 7 situation, which is on the 28th, if I'm not mistaken. And hopefully he doesn't return for that, so then we have a better chance of winning the series. But as you can see, here's what their team looks like. Their first line has Nordgren, Suzuki, and DeBrincat, so pretty good first line. Second line's also pretty solid. You got Tuck, Henriksen, and Halpern. So the center depth is not the greatest there, but they do have good wingers to support the centers. And then the third line has Adrian Jackson, Glenn Godden, and Brian Rizzi. A fourth line of Donovan Little, Graham Clark, and Victor Hadfield. So I think we should be technically a better team, considering we have a lot better depth. But they do have really good wingers, I'd say. And their centers could probably use some work other than Suzuki. On their defensive core, they have Kernan and Barry. Yoki Haru, who used to play with us obviously a few years ago, he has returned to Chicago, and Dennis Chalowski. And then their top 6 has Kevin Shelley, who we could kind of say is the brother of Calvin Shelley, just because I believe they're the exact same age, which is kind of nuts. And they also have Luno. So that defensive core is not terrible, but it's not really that great either, especially compared to us. And then they do have a good goaltender, though. They have Johan Schuström, who's up to an 88, and Ville Husso. And as I was mentioning, their 2 depth guys are their injuries to Deneau and to Jones. So I think we have definitely the better-looking team. But once again, we cannot underestimate any team really at this stage, because we've been knocked out 2 times in the last 2 years by the Minnesota Wild in the first round. So hopefully we can make it back to the second round and further than that as well if we can. So anyways, let's get into this first game of the playoffs. We aren't going to be taking her out of the lineup just yet, but if he doesn't play that good in the first few games, then I will put Schneider in, because Schneider was playing the beginning of the season. He was playing pretty solid, but I wanted to kind of make sure our defensive core was upgraded as good as possible for the playoffs. And like I said, we do have guys in the AHL we could call up if we really run into troubles. Like Sasaki is going to be in the NHL lineup for sure next season, so maybe we could give him some premature time here in the playoffs if for some reason we run into problems. So let's get into game number 1. We have home ice advantage more than likely this entire playoff run, unless we face the Winnipeg Jets, because they also they won the President's Trophy if I'm not mistaken. So, but anyways, here we go. Game number 1 on home ice. First period, 1-1. I'll take that. Alex Tuck opens the scoring for them early, but a late goal from Connor Geekie. So good to see Geekie getting on the board because, like I said in last episode, he had a pretty solid regular season with like 40 points, but he's never been really that kind of offensive player that we really thought he would be when we drafted him. So if he could kind of get going a little bit in the playoffs, that'd be good because I think it was like 2 years ago in the playoffs, he was just really quiet, and then we had to get rid of Vasily Ponomarev. So shots are 13-12 in favor of us after one, and it's a 1-1 game. Second period, and it is 3-2 Chicago. Not good. Agostino gives us the lead, but then Jackson and DeBrincat will restore the lead for the Chicago Blackhawks. Shots are 24-22 in favor of us, and we are down by 1 goal. We need somebody to come through here in the third period if we can. Let's call on Shelley because Shelley kind of had a bad season by comparison to his other seasons, so I would really like him to start scoring. Trading power play opportunities, but nobody converting. Power play again for us. We don't convert. Come on, Shelley. You had 28 goals only in the regular season by comparison to the last year where you had 47, and Jackson scores again. We're down 4-2, and we're going to lose game 1, which is not good. Halpern also scores, and we lose 5-2 in game 1, so not a great game to start off this playoff run, especially considering we're technically the better team. So our only goal is Geekie from Tracy and Scholes, and an Agostino from Genther and Samorukov. Who was badly minus in that game? Our top guns, pretty much. How was, what's his name? Mohura was an even 0, okay. So we aren't going to take him out just yet. But yeah, that was not a good first game. We definitely need to play a little bit better defensively, and our offense needs to kind of get going. We don't pay guys like Shelley and Farinacci that much to kind of just sit back in the playoffs, you know. I am going to make maybe already some adjustments because that's not a great first game. So let's go to our lines and see what we could do here. Let's move Genther down, give Shelley that top line time because he kind of deserves it a little bit more. Third line was good during the regular season, so I'm going to keep that together. And yeah, that second pairing was so good in plus minus in the regular season, but right now they're not off to a great start. I am going to split up Soderstrom and Chikrin again and then move Dobson up. Kind of get this defensive core maybe going a little bit more. And yeah, we'll keep with Pettersson for now. Actually, no, Pettersson had a terrible first ever playoff game. Do we want to give Stuart Skinner an opportunity already? I don't know. Because Stuart Skinner's a good playoff goalie. You know what? Yeah, we're going to give Skinner an opportunity. It might seem a little bit weird to do this prematurely, but I think Pettersson needs to kind of he's a young goaltender. Obviously, he had a rough first game. We needed to just kind of get him to get his confidence back for next game. So we are going to give Stuart Skinner the opportunity to maybe get this team to a tie series going to Chicago. Hopefully that's the case. Let's see what happens. Because Skinner's had some good playoff numbers before. So first period, we're up 1-0. I'll definitely take that. John Farinacci scoring. Good to see one of our top guns that I said that we pay a lot of money to score. Shots are 10-9 in favor of Chicago, but we're up by 1 goal. Second period, still 1-0, so far so good from Skinner. Hopefully he can play good again in the third period. Shots are 19-16 in favor of us. We're only up by 1 goal, which is kind of scary. Let's see what happens here in the third period. And of course, Shelley for them is going to tie it up. That's the wrong Shelley. Penalty kill. Come on, guys, killed that off. Nicely done. Can we please get a lead here? Let's go, Agostino. Just who we need to start scoring. And we also need, like I said, Calvin Shelley to start scoring, not Kevin. And are we going to hold them off? Yes, we are. We're going to win 2-1. So a very good, solid performance from Skinner in his playoff debut with us. And I think we might roll with him into game number 2, or not game number 2, game number 3 as well. Because even though Pettersson is technically our guaranteed starter, he has not a lot of experience. So it might be better just to give it to a younger guy instead, or an older guy instead. So Farinacci from Zadina and Agostino second from Ayton and Shelley. So Calvin Shelley actually got an assist in that game. And there's a 3-star. Skinner gets first star, Agostino the second, and Schustrom the third. But is Calvin Shelley and Kevin Shelley the exact same age? I think they are. Which means they were probably in the exact same draft class and we didn't know about it. Because if I would have known about it, I would have probably drafted... yeah, they're the exact same age, so they might have been in the same draft class. 2022 around 1, obviously. Let's take a look at the other Shelly. Just because we could literally say these guys are like, I don't know, twins maybe even. Let's see. Kevin Shelley was 2023, so he was a year afterwards. Let's take a look actually quickly, just for fun, at the edit player screen, because I want to kind of see what he looks like in Chicago, that Shelley defenseman. And I also want to kind of see if he has a similar birthday. It'd be kind of funny if they were like twins or not. So they look completely different. Because March 23rd, 2005, okay. Let's take a look at our Shelley again. March 23rd, 2005. This is kind of a little bit weird to add this to a franchise mode episode, but I want to kind of take a look at this. Our Shelley obviously looks a lot different, but they are the same age. June 18th, 2004. Okay, so they're a little bit ways apart, but still kind of neat. Same age, but different birth year. Okay. So I don't think we're going to make any other changes going into next game, unless I might go back to Stuart Skinner. Do I go back to Stuart Skinner? Yeah, I think we got to go back to Stuart Skinner. We got to keep with the hot goaltender. Like I said, we got to get that elite goalie and Pettersson's confidence back. And hopefully we could give him an opportunity to play maybe next game. Because, yeah, I'd like to get him in the starts as much as possible. But Skinner's been the better of the two right now. So here we go. Game number 3. We're now in Chicago. So hopefully we can win on the road here. First period. Yikes. Okay, Skinner, that's not good. He might have got yanked after that first period. 3 goals on 10 shots. And Zadina's got our only goal. The shots are 12-10 in favor of us, but we're down by 2 goals. So hopefully Schuster, or not Schuster, geez, I'm forgetting all these names. Pettersson could do better in the second period if he's in second period. We're down 5-1. Pettersson did come in, but he has not been good either. Oh, this is one of those series that I feel like we're not going to win. I don't know. Shots are 23-19 in favor of the Blackhawks. We're down 5-1. We're more than likely going to lose this game and be down 2-1 in the series. Yep, 6-1. I'm just going to skip through this fast. 7-2 loss. Tracy got our late goal as well, but that was not a good performance defensively at all. Of course, the best defensive team, or one of the best defensive teams, is not going to do good in the playoffs. That always seems to happen. And we're losing to a Chicago Blackhawks team that is kind of making the playoffs, I think, for one of the first times in quite a long time. So we are going to have to make some line adjustments here, and I might have to make some crazy adjustments, which means calling up guys from the AHL at this rate. So we're going to take Mahura out of the lineup, and we are going to go back to Braden Schneider on that top 6 pairing, go back to Soderstrom and Chychrun, go back to what we had during the regular season. And yeah, both goalies have been terrible so far. What do we want to do to this team? This team is needing a lot of changes right now. Farinacci, you're going up. And Hayton, you're going down. Sadikov, you're going to the second line. Genther's going down to the third line. Actually, wait a sec. We'll go back to that. Fourth line will stay the same. And yeah, I think that's pretty much the gist of it. Yeah, this team really needs to wake up. How has Schul's been playing? Even 0 so far. That's not bad. Yeah, that's the line adjustments we're going to make. And hopefully that could get us a win in game number 4. It might be only a 2-1 series lead for them, but that was a terrible game from our guys, especially after making the Cup Finals a few years ago. So let's get into an all-important game 4 and tie this series up, please. Headed home. Because right now we're not looking too good. First period, there we go. That's a good defensive period. Sadikov with both goals. So we moved Sadikov up to the second line. Maybe that was the right move. And we're up 2-0 after 1. He got a goal 14 minutes, or only early into the period actually. And a very late one with only 3 seconds left. Shots are 10-9 in favor of the Blackhawks, but we're up 2-0. Second period, 4-1. Let's go. Agostino and Hayton made it 4-0. DeBrincat breaks Pettersson's shutout. But right now we're looking like a lot better team than that 7-2 game for sure. Shots are 21 apiece. It's a 4-1 game. Let's lock this one down here in the third period. There we go. Dobson makes it 5-1. So much better game so far from our offense. Farinacci makes it 6-1. Jackson makes it 6-2 with a power play goal from them. Penalty kill, nicely done. But yeah, this is a very back and forth series right now. Like, some games we're playing really good offensively and some we're playing terrible defensively. Sadikov completes the hat trick with 22 seconds left, or yeah, 41 seconds left, I guess, actually. But Sadikov with a playoff hat trick, so it was good to move him up into the top 6, I guess. Shots were 35-28 in favor of us at the end of that game, and after losing 7-2, we're going to bounce back with a 7-2 win. So Sadikov from Zadina, Sadikov from Hayton and Soderstrom, Hayton from Samorukov and Zadina, Agostino from Chikrin and Soderstrom, Dobson from Geeky, Farinacci from Agostino and Shelley, and Sadikov from Zadina. 3 stars, Sadikov gets first star, 3 goals and 3 hits, Hayton the second star, and Zadina the third. Not too bad, a good rebound game for sure. And it said that Schulz was injured, but I guess he's returned. Yeah, apparently it was just a day-to-day injury. So we have tied the series at 2, and now we're back on home ice. Hopefully we could take a 3-2 series lead here. So far, Zadina's leading us in points in this playoff run, which is kind of weird because he didn't have, like I said, a great regular season. And we don't really pay him $9 million to do good during the playoffs only, because we need him to do good all year around if we can. But anyways, let's get into game number 5 and waste no time, considering we just had a really good game. Hopefully we can keep that going in this next game. First period, we're up 2-1. I'll take that for sure. They scored first, but Farinacci and Sadikov scored. So Sadikov has woken up and is all of a sudden scoring a lot of goals. He's got 4 goals in his last 2 games so far, or last 4 periods, I should actually say. Second period, still 2-1 us. Good period from our defense, but our offense needs to definitely score a little bit more than 2 goals, I think. Shots are 22-19 in favor of the Blackhawks, but we are still only up by 1 goal. Let's see what happens here in the third period. Come on, boys, let's add some insurance. Calvin Shelley's been nowhere in terms of scoring goals. Like, he's having a really rough year. Farinacci makes it 3-1. So that's big insurance from John. Will we be able to lock this one down here? After that big 7-2 loss, we have been playing a lot better. Penalty kill, nicely done. Final few minutes. And we're going to win 3-1 in game number 5. Yeah, game number 5. And the shots were 34-30 in favor of them, but we do get the win. So Pedersen has woken up and gotten some confidence, it seems like. So Farinacci from Shelley and Soderstrom, Sadikov from Hayton, and Farinacci from Agostino and Soderstrom. So Shelley's been only picking up assists so far, which is kind of uncharacteristic of him, but maybe he could get going in round 2 if we get there. And yeah, Sadikov has just been shooting the puck a lot. And yeah, Pedersen is definitely starting to play a lot better than he was in the latest game that he played. So he had 970 save percentage. He gets first star of the game, not a surprise. Farinacci to second star, and Sadikov the third. Sadikov seems to throw a decent amount of hits for like a shooter, which is kind of nice. Kind of like a power forward more to an extent. So maybe with Schneider back in the lineup, that has helped out our team. Maybe we didn't want to have Mahura in the lineup. Maybe we shouldn't have even traded for Mahura, but who knows. Gives us a little bit more depth in terms of our defensive core in case. But we are going to game number 6, actually, not game number 5. Did I say game number 5? I don't know. But we're going in game number 6 with a 3-2 series lead here. Can we lock down the series, or are we going to go to a game 7? Hopefully we get another strong performance from Pedersen. First period, 1-1. I guess I'll take that. So DeBrincat opens the scoring for them early, but a power play goal from Lawrence. Good to see our power play getting going, because I don't think it's really scored that much this series, if I'm not mistaken. Shots are 14-12 in favor of the Blackhawks, but it is a even 1-1 game. Second period, 3-3. Yikes, this is a close game. Sadikov continues his goal scoring streak. He's now got 5 goals in the last 3 games. Schulz scores his first goal of the playoffs, and then Halpern and Nordegren score for them. So they got 2 unanswered goals, which is not good. We were up 3-1 at one point. Hopefully we could have a strong third here. We are out shooting them 28-22. Let's see if we could get the goal to go ahead. Come on, boys. Penalty kill here early in the third. We kill it off. Power play for us. We don't score. Penalty kill again. Nicely done. Another power play opportunity. We don't convert. Jeez. So much special teams chances in this third period. Penalty kill again. Nicely done. Final few minutes of this third period, and of course DeBrincat scores with 2:11 left, and we're going to a game 7. That's not good. We outplayed them that game. We had a 3-1 lead at one point, but we blew it. That's not good. And now we're going to a game 7. Lawrence from Genther and Soderstrom, Sadikov from Zadina Hayton, Schulz from Tracy, and Tukinen. Yikes, that's not good. Pedersen was how good in that game? Not great. Pedersen's really streaky. I'm not going to turn to Stuart Skinner for a game 7 because I don't really know if I trust him, to be honest. But, yeah, this team is kind of all over the place right now. And if we could escape this round 1, maybe we'll do better in the second round. But right now, we lost 5-2 in game 1. We won 2-1, so good defensive effort by Change. We lose 7-2, then we come back with a 7-2 win and a 3-1 win. Then we lose 4-3. Now we're going to a game 7. Yikes, I'm kind of scared about this. Do we want to make any line adjustments for the most important game of the season so far? Yeah, Shelley's only got 3 assists. He's got no goals. So I am going to... That second line's been good since making those changes. But why is Shelley not scoring? It's kind of weird. I don't know why he's not scoring. Let's put him on the wing instead. I don't know. Yeah, we'll try him on the wing instead. But yeah, Shelley really needs to get his act together because he's just not been there. I don't know why. Let's move Sadikov up to this unit instead. Move Agostino. Actually, Agostino should stay there. Move Sadikov there. And try and change stuff around like this. I don't really know. Yeah, we'll try it like that, I guess. But yeah, hopefully Shelley can get his offense going because we need him to score goals. Maybe he's just going to be a Game 7 hero, kind of like a Justin Williams, but we need him to start scoring in this game because obviously if we lose this game, we end the season with another first-round exit, which would not be good. Real-time simulation, Game 7 on home ice. Come on, boys. We need that offense to get going, and we need to play good defensively here. And we need Calvin Shelley to get going. And they're going to open the scoring on the power play. That's not good. And Graham Clark makes it 2-0. This is not good. We're going to end up losing in round 1 again, aren't we? Unless we have a good bounce back second period or a late goal here in the first. But this is not good. We're getting badly outshot as well. This team is all of a sudden just not playing the way they should. We only had 1 shot in the first period. That might be the lowest amount of shots I've ever seen a team have in a period. I don't think I've ever had a 1-shot period before. Shots were 9-1 after 1 for Chicago. We're down 2-0. We need to get more chances in that second period easily. If we could score a goal at least in the second period, we're still in the game. But if we do not score in the second period, it's probably going to be a write-off, I would assume. But let's see what happens in the second period. See if we can get some more chances because we definitely need to get more chances than that. They make it 3-0. Yeah, we're going to lose this game. We're getting so badly outshot. We're down 3-0 halfway through the game. We've barely had any chances. Shelley scores a power play goal. Thank you for scoring, Shelley. We had another power play, but we didn't convert on it. So good to see Shelley score in Game 7, but it's a little too late, it looks like. Shots are now 17-12, so we definitely outplayed them in that second period, but we still have not really had a lot of shots through 2 periods. It's averaging only 6 shots a period. Oh, I wish I could edit the lines mid-simulation, but you can't do that. So let's see what happens here in the third, see if we can come back from this 3-1 deficit in Game 7. Or are we going to be packing our bags in round 1 again, which is more likely going to be the case. Penalty kill, short-handed goal from Chickern. Okay, we're within 1. Can we get the game-tying goal? Come on, Shelley. Sadikov, you've been scoring a lot of goals as well as of late. Final few minutes. Come on, guys, please. Are you kidding me? And we're going to lose 3-2 in Game 7. And we're a first-round exit for the 3rd straight season. Oh, this is ridiculous. This team literally has the skill level. And for some reason, we just can't get over that first-round hump anymore. We got to the Cup Finals quite quickly, actually. I believe it was our first ever playoff run as well that we got to the Cup Finals, right? And then after that, this team has just really not been there. I don't really know what the problem is. So then, ever since we made, adjustments to our team, got rid of certain players. Oh, maybe getting rid of Ponomarev was a mistake. 3-2 loss in game number 7 in round 1. Shelley did not play up to par until that a little bit late. So he scores from Agostino and Farinacci, and then Chikrin from Hayton and Tracy is our only goals, but we lose in Game 7. After a 50-win season again, we just can't get past that first round. And of course, that's the only game where Sadikov hadn't scored. And yeah, Pettersson was not really a good playoff goalie. Chikrin still got first star, which I don't understand. Maybe it's because of the 6 hits, and then Hayton second star. Oh, that really sucks a lot. Another first round exit. I maybe should have called up somebody from the AHL, but I didn't. I guess we'll follow the AHL team until the end of the regular season and stuff like that, or playoffs, I should say, and see who wins the awards and whatnot. But let's take a look at our player stats for that first round, even though it's another depressing season. 6 points in 7 games. So Agostino and Zadina and Hayden all did really good. Sadikov was good. Farinacci was good. Our offense was generally pretty good, it looks like. But the main thing that was concerning is the fact that some of our most heavily paid players did not score. And that's probably the reason why. Geeky was quiet again. Like I said, we needed him to get going. He had a goal in Game 1, but he really didn't do anything again. He's just not a playoff player. And then, let's see. McGillis had nothing. Lawrence was really quiet. He had a good regular season, but he was dead quiet in the playoffs. Schulz was not really doing much. Genther had barely anything going for him. It seems like regardless, these guys just don't do anything in the playoffs. Shelley was okay in terms of points, but he only had 1 goal in 7 games, which, yeah, he's really just dropped off a cliff in production. Like, he had 10 goals in the 21 games when we went to the Cup Finals, but since then, he's been not good. 4 goals in his last 17 playoff games. Yeah, that's kind of scary. Definitely need a bounce back season from him. And then defensively, we were just not getting good defensive stats from our defensemen. It's as easy as that. And then, yeah, goalies definitely need to be a little bit better as well. Oh, that's problematic. Another first round exit. What the heck do we do with this team to get them to get to a second round again? Well, I guess we'll simulate and see if the AHL team could win the Calder Cup again, because I think they won last year, if I'm not mistaken. But there's going to be a lot of changes, I guess, in the offseason with who's going to be coming into the NHL team. So, well, it should be an interesting season next year for sure to see, though, how our AHL team, or who's from our AHL team is in the NHL. Because, like I said, Sasaki definitely would be. Shishkinov definitely would be. Gallagher definitely would be. Anisimov should be. Koltsov maybe. But literally a lot of those guys should be in our NHL team next season. So, and our AHL team has been eliminated, of course. That really sucks. They should have won the Calder Cup. God damn it. An unsuccessful season for sure here in Arizona. Now it comes down to the awards. Who's going to win the Stanley Cup this season? The Buffalo Sabres won the Cup. Are you kidding me? And Stockton wins the AHL. I think that's the team that knocked out our AHL team, so it kind of makes sense. Let's take a look at those awards and continue to sim up to the draft. Awards, that's where I wanted to go. I'll also show you guys the playoff tree after this as well. So Buffalo wins the Stanley Cup for the second time in 3 years. Winnipeg wins the President's Trophy for the second straight season. And it was Buffalo and Chicago in the Cup Finals, so we lost to the best team in the West for the 3rd straight season. We were the best team 4 years ago in this conference, but since then we've lost to the best team in the conference 3 straight times. Oh, that's problematic, and I believe the Colorado Avalanche knocked us out the year before, if I'm not mistaken, in 25-26, so we might have lost to the best team literally 5 straight seasons, or well, not lost to them, but because one of them was a win, but... So Matvei Michkov wins the Art Ross, even though Dallas didn't make the playoffs. Ehlers wins the Hart in Winnipeg. Makar wins the Norris. Michkov wins the Bing. Sawatsky wins the Calder for Vancouver. Eichel wins the Conn Smythe. Interesting. That's his second time also in 3 years. Bjorklund wins the Vezina in Toronto. Sorokin wins the Jennings. Maul wins the Masterton for Montreal. Drummond wins the Jack Adams for Calgary. Yip wins the Selke for Calgary. Ehlers the Lindsay. And Michkov wins his second Maurice Richard. Interesting. AHL-wise, Shishkinov won an award, another award. So Shishkinov had a really good season. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So Shishkinov was really good this year in the AHL. Let's take a look at our AHL stats from the regular season, actually, because I did not do that yet. So, wait. Oh, Shishkinov must have been called back up to the NHL, so we can't see his stats yet. I'll have to do that once we go to the, the growth screen. But there's all our AHL player stats that are still in the AHL by their standards. Ortmeyer's still out with an injury. Maybe he would have helped out if he would have been in the lineup. And there's our goaltending stats. Really good season from Hornquist. He's got low elite potential. Maybe he's who we need. I don't know. Okay, so that's that. Playoff tree-wise, let's just take a look at this. So Chicago, after beating us, won against Colorado in 7. Then they swept the Minnesota Wild, who we've had problems with the last 2 years. And then they lost in 5 games to the Buffalo Sabres. Okay, let's continue to sim up into the draft. And then we'll take a look at the draft class and the progress reports, and then that'll be it for this episode. So the Ottawa Senators have the first overall pick. Damn, that's kind of crazy. Because they obviously won the Stanley Cup a few years ago against us, and now they have the first pick. Washington the second, New Jersey third, Vegas fourth, and Tampa Bay has number 5. Okay, and the retirements for the season. We wouldn't have lost anybody, I don't think, because we're not an old team. But the big retirements, Patrick Kane, Steven Stamkos, John Tavares. Landeskog retires, which kind of sucks, because if he wasn't going to be a free agent, I would have maybe signed him. I don't know. Any players for us? I don't think so. Nope. Any goalies around the entire league? Yeah, so Bobrovsky's the best goalie to retire. Braden Holtby, Mrazek, Allen, and pretty much that's that. Any coach retirements? Does not look like it. Good. Okay, and we are now finally up at the draft. Let's take a look at the progress reports and contracts, and then we'll take a look at the draft class, just because the draft class is the most important part. So progress report wise, let's see, modified. Looks like some statistical growth. Not a surprise, really. Pettersson's still an 84, which is good. Shishkinov should technically be in the NHL lineup. He's back down to a 79, which is kind of weird. But obviously we're going to be probably playing him next year. And then defensive man, let me take a look at this. Okay. Goalies, there we go. In the system, Hornquist got a lot of growth. If this low lead ends up making it, that will be pretty awesome, because he was a very late 7th round pick. And then defensively, let's sort by overall. Sasaki's still 79, but he is listed as a top 6 defenseman, so he's definitely going to be in the NHL next season. Should help us out defensively as well. DeMaio's getting some good growth. He'll probably be in the AHL. Ladipov's getting growth. Ortmeyer didn't really grow. Guerrero's growing. Yeah, that's good. How about wingers? Gallagher's growing. Pretty much everybody's growing in our system. Left wing wise, Anisimov didn't grow really at all, but we could use him in the NHL. Looks like he dropped back off again. And then, yeah, like I said, Varlamov could be trade bait potentially. I don't know, because we don't really have anywhere to slot him in. And yeah, it's pretty much that. And let's take a look at that contract situation just to see who's up for renewal this offseason. So Barrett Hayton's the big one. Maybe we replace him with another center. He only wants $7 million, which is not really a whole lot, but he is dropping a little bit. Noah Dobson also needs a new contract. Josh Mahura, I don't know if we'll bring him back. He wants $4 million, so I guess he was just more of a rental. Tracy might not come back if we replace him with a guy in the AHL. Then obviously Tukinen, Lawrence, McGillis, those type of guys would come back. Schulz, pretty much every RFA would definitely come back. And goalie wise, Pettersson needs a big contract. I don't know if we bring back Stuart Skinner. We could. He's relatively cheap, so we could always do that. And then Wallsted's also up for renewal. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of that. How's our low leads looking? McIntyre's up to a 66. It's not too bad. And what was the other low lead? Was it Osgood? No, it wasn't Osgood. There was another low lead. Kagorodov, 64 still. So he's kind of slowly, a little bit slow to grow, but hopefully him and McIntyre can make it to the NHL at some point. Final thing, let's take a look at this draft class just to see what is available and what we could potentially get to add to our prospect pool. So since we're probably going to be having another late round pick, we're probably like right around 25 again. There is Appleby, who looks pretty solid. Kosker Ranta. Hornquist. Another goalie, but the last name Hornquist. That could be really good. If we want a goalie prospect, might as well take him in the first round. But he might not be great potential-wise, who knows. Anybody else interesting? Maybe a medium elite here. No, it doesn't look like it. Any low elites to pin? Any low elites? Hopefully there is a couple, because I do like to snag low elites. There's another one. Two-way forward, and he is listed as a gem. We'll definitely pin him. Maybe be a second round pick of ours, unless he's good enough to go first round. But yeah, it looks like there's probably more low elites we could get in this year's draft, which is good. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Arizona Coyotes franchise mode. So once again, it sucks that we lost in the first round. That's the third straight season that has happened. Hopefully we can bounce back next season. We might need to revamp our team quite a bit to kind of get our team to being better, because maybe, even though Shelley's a good goal scorer, maybe he's not that type of player that is kind of like the type of player we need to kind of lead this team in offense. Maybe we need somebody that's actually like a 90 overall sniper or something like that to kind of make our team a little bit better offensively, because that seems to be our problem most of the time in the playoffs. So anyways, let me know what you guys think down below, and I'll see you guys next time.